Section 1. The Enduring Rivalry. An Introduction. In the grand chronicle of modern firearms, two names stand out with an almost mythical resonance: the AK-47, the M16. These are not merely rifles, they are cultural icons, symbols of opposing ideologies, the definitive tools of conflict for more than half a century. The Kalashnikov, born of Soviet pragmatism, the M16, a product of American technological ambition, have faced each other on countless battlefields across the globe today. In 2025, their latest iterations, like the ubiquitous AKM pattern rifles, the refined M16A4, continue to serve, prompting the enduring question, which one is truly superior? This essay will delve into that question, not by offering a simple answer, but by exploring the intricate details that define each weapon system. To understand these rifles is to understand a fundamental dichotomy in arms design. One prioritizes unwavering reliability above all else, designed to function in the hands of a conscript with minimal training in the harshest conditions imaginable. The other champions precision, ergonomic refinement, modular adaptability, designed for a well-trained, well-supplied professional soldier who can leverage its technological advantages. Their histories are deeply intertwined with the geopolitical landscape of the 20th and 21st centuries. The AK-47 became a symbol of revolution, while the M16 became the standard for NATO forces and their allies. Section 2. Genesis of Legends, a brief history. The story of the Avtomat Kalashnikova Model 1947, or AK-47, begins in the ashes of World War II. The Soviet Union, having witnessed the effectiveness of the German STG-44 assault rifle, sought a similar weapon for its own forces. They needed an intermediate caliber rifle that combined the firepower of a submachine gun with the range of a traditional bolt-action rifle. A young self-taught tank sergeant named Mikhail Kalashnikov submitted a design that was brutally simple, remarkably durable, easy to mass produce. After a series of rigorous state trials, his design was officially adopted in 1949. It was engineered not for the pristine conditions of a shooting range, but for the brutal realities of a total war expected to be fought by a massive conscript army. On the other side of the Iron Curtain, the United States was pursuing a different path. In the 1950s, Armalite, a division of Fairchild Aircraft, began experimenting with new materials like aluminum alloys fiberglass to create a lightweight, futuristic rifle. The brilliant designer Eugene Stoner developed the AR-10, chambered in the powerful 7.62 by 51mm NATO cartridge. The U.S. military, however, was interested in a smaller, lighter, high-velocity round. This led Stoner to scale down the AR-10 into the AR-15 chambered for the new .223 Remington, 5.56 by 45mm. Section 3. Engineering Philosophies, Design and Mechanics. The fundamental difference between the AK-47 and the M16A4 lies in their operating systems, the engine that cycles the action. The AK-47 employs a long-stroke gas piston system. When a round is fired, hot gases from the barrel are siphoned into a gas tube above it. These gases push back on a large heavy piston which is permanently attached to the bolt carrier. This entire assembly moves rearward as a single unit, unlocking the bolt, extracting the spent casing, chambering a new round on its return journey. This system is powerful and has a great deal of momentum, allowing it to muscle through dirt grime fouling that might stop a more delicate mechanism. The construction of the AK-47 reflects its simple, robust nature. The internal components are large with significant gaps between them, loose tolerances. In stark contrast, the M16A4 utilizes a direct gas impingement system, a design choice made by Eugene Stoner to reduce weight and moving parts. In this system, propellant gases are also bled from the barrel, but instead of pushing a piston, they are channeled through a very thin gas tube directly back into the receiver. There, the gases act directly upon the bolt carrier itself, pushing it rearward to cycle the action. This eliminates the weight of a separate piston and operating rod, resulting in a lighter rifle with less reciprocating mass. Section 4. Tale of the Tape Specifications versus Field Reality. On paper, a direct comparison of specifications seems to give the M16A4 a clear edge in several key areas. It fires the 5.56 by 45mm NATO cartridge, a small, lightweight projectile typically over 3,000 feet per second. This results in a flat trajectory. making it easier to hit targets at medium to long ranges. The rifle itself is lighter than a standard AK, the M16A4, weighing around 8.79 pounds loaded compared to a typical AKM, which can exceed 10 pounds. The AK-47 and its variants are most commonly chambered for the 7.62 by 39mm cartridge. This is a heavier, wider bullet that travels at a much slower velocity, around 2,400 feet per second. On paper, this translates to a more curved trajectory, making precise long-range shooting more challenging for the average user. The rifle is heavier, and its powerful long-stroke piston system generates a more pronounced recoil impulse. In a sterile, controlled environment, lighter, faster, more precise. The M16A4 appear to make it the superior infantry weapon based on these numbers alone. However, the reality of the field often tells a different story, one where raw specifications do not always translate to battlefield effectiveness. The AK-47's heavier 7.62 by 39mm round, while less accurate at range, tends to perform better when penetrating intermediate barriers like wood brick dense foliage. Its slower velocity and greater mass mean it is less likely to be deflected by twigs and leaves. The field also introduces the great equalizer reliability. Section 5. In the trenches, reliability and maintenance. The reputation of the AK-47 is built on near-mythical reliability. Numerous tests subjected it to horrific abuse, burying it in mud, packing it with sand, submerging it in water, yet it continued to function. That resilience is from its design, loose tolerances, a powerful, heavy bolt carrier group that forces through obstructions. For soldiers and irregular fighters in low-intensity conflicts, with limited cleaning supplies or armorer support, this trait can be the most important. AK maintenance is incredibly simple. It field strips in seconds into a handful of large parts. A soldier can clean the bore and gas system with cloth and oil. The M16A4 in modern form is very reliable when properly maintained. Early M16 failures in Vietnam were overcome with improvements, chrome lining the barrel, chrome lining the chamber, and much better training and maintenance doctrine. Today's U.S. soldier is taught to clean meticulously. The direct gas impingement system vents carbon into the bolt carrier group. Failure to clean that area can cause stoppages. M16A4 maintenance is more involved than the AK. Section 6. The human factor, accuracy, and ease of use. When it comes to intrinsic accuracy, the M16A4 generally holds a distinct advantage. This is due to a combination of factors: its tighter manufacturing tolerances, the superior ballistics of the 5.56mm round, and its sighting system. The M16A4 features a longer sight radius, the distance between the front and rear sights, which allows for more precise aiming with iron sights. More importantly, its integral Picatinny rail on the upper receiver makes mounting advanced optics, such as the Trigicon ACOG, which became standard issue, incredibly simple and stable. With a quality optic, a trained soldier can consistently engage man-sized targets at 500 meters and beyond, a task that is significantly more difficult with a standard-issue AK. The ergonomics of the M16A4 are also geared towards a practiced shooter. The pistol grip angle, the placement of the safety selector, and the push-button magazine release are all designed to be operated efficiently. The charging handle is located at the rear of the receiver, which allows a soldier to charge the weapon while keeping it shouldered and generally pointed towards a target. Despite these criticisms, the AK's ease of use lies in its simplicity. For a novice, the basic operation of the AK is incredibly intuitive. There are few controls to master, and the manual of arms is straightforward. Insert the rock and lock magazine, pull the charging handle, disengage the large safety lever, and fire. This simplicity is a powerful asset when training large numbers of conscripts or irregulars quickly. While it may not be a surgeon's scalpel, the AK-47 is a brutally effective tool at the close to medium engagement distances where the vast majority of firefights occur. Section 7. The final verdict. A question of context. After examining the history, mechanics, and performance of both the AK-47 and the M16A4, it becomes clear that there is no simple winner in 2025. Declaring one rifle universally better than the other ignores the most critical factor: context. The effectiveness of any tool is defined by the user, the environment, the mission. Both rifles are exceptional engineering achievements, but they are products of vastly different philosophies designed to solve different problems. They do not represent a simple good versus bad dichotomy, but rather two different and equally valid answers to the question of what a modern infantry rifle should be. The AK-47 and its many derivatives remain the kings of simplicity and ruggedness. Its ideal user is one who operates in austere environments with minimal logistical support. It is the perfect weapon for a conscript or guerrilla fighter, anyone who needs a rifle that will continue to function despite neglect and abuse. If your primary concerns are low-cost, widespread availability, absolute certainty that the weapon will fire when you pull the trigger, even if it is caked in mud, then the Kalashnikov is the logical choice. It is a hammer designed for a world full of nails, prioritizing function over finesse. The M16A4, on the other hand, represents the pinnacle of a refined, modular weapon system. It is the superior choice for a professional, well-trained, and well-supplied soldier. Its user is expected to maintain their weapon diligently and is trained to leverage its ergonomic and accuracy advantages. For a modern military that emphasizes marksmanship, utilizes advanced optics, operates with a robust supply chain, subscribe to SNB Creation.